Welcome to the Viewsroom with Pfif and AWAC. I'm your host, Cat White, aka AWAC, and I'm here with my co-host, Jim Pfiffer, also known as Pfif, or as I like to call him, Pfif Daddy. Hi,
Hello,
Pfif.
folks. Howdy.
This is our third episode, and we're going to talk a little bit about AI, aka artificial intelligence, and what it means, good and bad for the future of humanity. It's been all over the news recently, and AI innovators and developers from Google, Meta, GPT, and others are issuing warnings now about dangerous consequences to our governments and others' lax attention and regulation to the potential problems that could arise from the technology. It's also having an effect on a lot of different aspects of society right now and raising a slew of questions about the future of humanity, the future of our workforce, education, and a lot more. So we wanted to take a few minutes, especially because AI is affecting writers. The Screenwriters Guild right now is on strike, and one of the issues that they're fighting about or talking about is has to do with making sure that entertainment is written by human beings, I guess, as opposed to AI. So it's a big deal, and I think it's gonna make a big impact in news as well, the news industry. So what do you think, Pfif?
First of all, here's what I think is where the hell was this when I was in high school and college and I had to write essays and do book reports and so on?
I know, what do kids even do in school anymore? It's like they
I don't
have,
know. I don't know. I mean, that's one of the big issues right now. You know what, Eric, I agree with you. The thing is, the genie's out of the bottle. We're not going to put it back in. We're not going to end it. I believe that technology and computer programmers will come up with, at least temporarily, some way for people to know that this was generated by AI. But then the people on the other side of the fence find a way to get around that, and that continues. It's not going to end. I am worried about presidential elections when you can use AI to get the elected officials videos and everything to be saying things that aren't true. Or what's even worse is, let's say a candidate gets up and says something ridiculous, gets in trouble for it. That candidate can just say, "Hey, that was generated by AI. That really didn't help me." Involving our political system, and also taking advantage of people. I'm also reading about it's being used to get money from elderly people. Their kids have been in accidents, or they're showing them videos of fires down the street that don't exist. Yes, it is scary, but I believe we have the technology to try to rein it in. Where it's going to go, I don't know.
well,
Like I said, it's here, and we're not going to get rid of it.
well, what is kind of bothering me that I've started to think about when dealing with this, I mean, it just seems like all of a sudden robots and AI has advanced so far in such a short period of time, it seems like. But I remember, I don't know if you remember, in the 1980s, there was a movie called War Games. And
Yep.
it was about a kid who was technological wizard, and somehow got this robot or this artificial intelligence to play a game that became a real world war between Russia and the United States. And this was during the Cold War. And I'm just like, I mean, it scared me at the time. It was really frightening. But since that time, have we not learned any lessons?
Well, here's the thing. Yes, I think we've learned lessons, but like I said, with technology, no matter what type of security or firewall or that you use to try to protect your system, the hackers eventually figure it out. It's back and forth. The hackers are just as intelligent or more intelligent as the people who are creating the security, and it goes back and forth. Keep trying to. They fix it, then they hack it. They fix it, and they hack it. The same thing I think is going to happen with this artificial intelligence. They'll figure out a way that people know, hey, this is fake, but then the hackers will figure out a way to override that so you don't think it's fake. And that's the other thing about technology, AWAC, especially in our lifetime. It doesn't grow gradually. It does it in leaps and bounds so fast, like you said. It's not like this has been slowly happening. I mean, there's been stories about robots becoming self-conscious and taking over the world. And I thought that could never happen. And well, it's a little more believable now with AI.
Yeah, well, and I was gonna say just the way there was a show on, I think it was either TBS or TNT a couple of years ago, that had robots, like a robot class, and they were nannies, and they looked very human. They didn't look like, metal robot things like you're seeing
Right.
now. They were very human. And then, but somehow the story goes that there was the creator kind of put some kind of sentient ability into some of the robots so that they could kind of wake up at a certain point as they
Right.
progress.
Right.
And so
Right.
then, the humans were trying to, once they realized that, destroy them. And so the robots were protecting themselves. It was a very interesting TV series. But I think it only lasted like 1 or 2 seasons.
Yeah.
It kind of fell off
Yeah.
after the first season.
But robots are just computers with legs. It's the same thing. You can build it so that it cannot ever hurt a human being. I think that's what first rule of robotics. But the hackers will figure out a way to override that so it can hurt a human being. Then you're back to square one again and trying to find security for it. I mean, as
Right.
long as there are computers and an internet, AWAC, this is going to be an issue for us forever. I worry more right now about AI being used, shut down the electrical grid, AI being used to stop communications from satellites, to stop traffic lights and so on. That's what I worry about more than people getting scammed.
Right. Well, there's all of that, which to me is um just something that it's troublesome. But then when you get beyond that and think about how AI and robots could kind of change just our workforce and do the things that humans are doing, and that could be a good thing if we figure out how we can support humanity and humans to survive. But what will they do? You know what I mean? That's kind of the other question. Is it kind of opens up the world for humans to be able to do things that they want to do. But how is that going to look as far as our society is concerned, and economics and those types of issues?
And you're exactly right. I mean, the internet, computers, global communication has made life much easier. We live longer, we're more healthier, we're better informed. It's 99.9% of the time, it's very beneficial. We can't live without it, but it's that small percentage that's causing problems.
Right. Well, and the other thing is,
it's always going to be there.
What do we do, like, to get rid of it? I mean, if we got rid of it, how much of humanity would be able to survive and, live off the land or the way
Right.
we used to
I don't know how
to?
Yeah. I'd like to see my daughters use a dial phone or put a record on a stereo and turn it on.
Exactly. Yes. There's like things that you see the young kids today and looking at a rotary phone, like, how the heck did you all use this? And
I gotcha.
that blows my mind.
AWAC, we wanted to talk a little about how it's affecting journalism. I'm actually, I do a weekly humor column, and I've actually asked AI to generate a column written by Jim Pfiffer, and it's done that. And then I'm going to do also a column that runs with it about my perspective on it and compare them and see if they're the same, see if they're different, see what people think. It was pretty amazing how quickly it was written. I didn't find it especially humorous. It was humorous. It didn't have the depravity and sickness that I had in my humor. That hasn't been programmed into AI yet, but eventually it will.
I was going to say, so they can't quite get your
no, then the world will be coming to the end. If the AI starts sharing my values and my habits, we're all in trouble, AWAC.
Oh, I know. I'm not looking forward to that. I'm hoping they don't get to that point. But that's very interesting. I didn't know you had done that. Do you know when that column is going to run?
No, I'm hoping to do it within the next couple of weeks.
Okay.
See what happens. And I mean, it's interesting. I asked AI, I'm working on a column about spanking. I was spanked pretty much every day as a kid and well deserved. I asked AI to write one, and it came back with a warning that no, we don't condone it. It's child abuse. We won't write about that. I thought that's pretty nice. That's good. Now
Wow.
you can't go. There's one of the safety measures already, but someone's going to find a way around it. So I
Right.
can't go to AI and say, "Hey, write me a story about how I can break into the White House and take the president hostage." You know, it's not going to do that as of yet. Someone will
Right.
find a way to get it to do that.
Right. Ooh, that's scary.
But here's the thing that my understanding of it. It does it word by word. So let's say we're doing a story about carrots. You know, it'll start out with the word carrot, and then it searches the whole internet for what word usually comes after the word carrot. And then it puts that word in there. Then it searches the whole internet for the billions and trillions of words that come after that word. And it literally
Hmm.
builds it word by word, and you can watch it happening as it's being written.
Oh,
Um,
that's neat. I didn't
that's
know
why
that.
sometimes you'll have words and phrases repeated because this is the most common word. Guess what? This is the second most common word, and it's the same thing. So that too will improve and get better. You know, if it can write great poetry, if it can write great stories, if it can write great music, I'm okay with that. Um,
Really?
yes, I am okay with that as long as I know that it was produced by artificial intelligence. And I don't have a problem listening. I don't want to listen to a song that I don't like that's live. And if the same song was done by AI and was much better and I enjoyed it, I don't have a problem with it. I don't want to make money off of it or robbing um, the original writers of the song. But those are all things that we'll have to deal with. And anyway, I think that's what you're going to find out is people are going to realize there are a lot of positive attributes to AI, and I don't want to give them up. We're just beginning to discover those.
Right. Right. I guess we just have to really, my whole thing is we have to be careful, and I don't know that I trust the people that are creating this new technology.
Well, I think I agree with you. I think that's where the other thing you're going to see is government getting involved to somehow monitor and regulate it. And that's going to, whenever government gets involved, that usually ruins it. So
Right.
again, AWAC, this is a major, what's the word, paradigm shift in our culture. And I'm glad I'm on the downside of my life. And this, when it peaks and goes bad, I'll be up in heaven, well, or wherever I'm going to
Yeah.
be,
I
looking
don't, I
up and
was gonna
looking
say you're
down.
making some assumptions
Glad I'm
there,
out of
sir.
there. But it sounds like you would be opposed to AI creating a beautiful poem or a song. Why?
It's not that I'm necessarily opposed to it. I mean, I don't think there's any real, there's not, like you said, there's nothing we can do about it now. It just is, I don't like it. I don't, it, I'm still stuck in the thing of these, this machine that doesn't have feelings, like gaining some sort of sentience that they can act on their own without feeling. Like, and
That's
so I
your
just think
fear. It's
of,
not so much what they're producing, but what they have the ability to do.
right.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, and to
yeah.
feel and who's in charge and who can be in control and like all of that stuff is I'm still way in the it's too big for me to really understand. And I look at things like the like war games and the Matrix, and even though I know that those are entertainment, like I said, in a lot of ways I'm just like the people that were creating that stuff should have at least had that in their minds. And now those are the people, the creators, that are telling us, well, we need to be careful and we need to, watch out and take it slow. And it's like, well, yes, you guys are the ones that are the creators. What are you
Yeah,
talking about?
yeah,
You're the do it.
yeah. But but I agree with you. I think most of the population doesn't understand how it operates, and that frightens people. Heck, AWAC, I don't understand a thermos. I have a thermos. I can put hot coffee in it and it'll keep it hot all day long. Or I can put lemonade in it and it keeps it cold all day long. And I sit there and look at it and I go, how does it know?
Right. What to
You know, or how TV works. I'm
right.
not sure, but I use it and I enjoy it. So yeah, it's something we're going to have to deal with. It's not going to end. Even if it were outlawed, outlaws would still do it.
You're right. That's true. And we just got to figure out a way to either protect it or always be on the lookout for
Yeah,
those
yeah.
things to
Good
happen.
luck. Yeah.
So we've got about 5 minutes left, and I just wanted to take a minute to talk about, I know that you just recently held a river safety workshop that was sold out with the Chemung County or the Chemung River Friends
Correct.
group. And so I wondered if you wanted to just talk about that for a minute.
Sure, we did that because there 2 weeks ago was a drowning in the river. And this past week, there was a drowning at one of the Finger Lakes.
Mm.
It's the beginning of the paddling season. Given that drowning, and folks, I'm happy to say Chemung River Friends, which has been around for 13 years, there's only been 2 drownings in those 13 years.
Wow.
Prior to them coming on, there was a drowning about every year and a half. So they've done a great job of educating the public on how to enjoy the river and use it safely. And that's exactly what this workshop was about, dealing specifically with strainers, trees that are down in the river and how dangerous they are. That's what caused the drowning. So we had a great turnout. I had a couple people come up and approach me. They want some more private lessons.
Great.
It's I love to see that people are concerned and responsible enough to come and learn about it. Biggest issue, I think, is ignorance, and that you go down and you look at the river, it's a warm, sunny day, it's flowing easily, you're looking at the surface, I can do this, it's no problem. Well, you don't know what's under it, you don't know about currents, you don't know how fast you gotta react, you don't know how to read and what to stay away from. It all has to be learned. So I love seeing this. And my 2 biggest pieces of advice is please always wear a life vest and have it zipped up. Never go alone. And if you've never been paddling on the river, you need to go with someone who knows how to paddle, can give you some instructions, and just use your head and your common sense. And if you are on the river and you come into some rapids or an area where you're not sure you can do it safely, don't get out, walk around it, or just stop there.
That's smart. We have
Thanks for letting me have that opportunity.
yeah, you're welcome. It's important. And
Yep.
like you said, since people are being more educated, then we have less tragedies of drownings, in the river. So that's such important information. And I can we'll put in the description the website for the Chemung River Friends, because that's a really
Perfect.
important group in the area. I'm going to go ahead and we're going to end this session. Thanks so much for listening. Please continue to check back in. And in addition to Pfif's and my scintillating conversations, we may have a special guest or two joining some of our future Zooms for a conversation. In the meantime, you can read Pfif's mostly weekly humor column on his Full of Wit blog or his Facebook page. And I'm going to put the links in the episode description to that. Thank you to our host, Southern Tier Life website, and our sponsors, Reed Media Group Radio and Black Cat Media. We appreciate the support. I'll see you next time.
Thank you. Adios.
Bye. Have a great day, Pfif.
You too.
Thank you.